share it with you guys, okay? And like I said, this was about a week ago, and I've just been thinking about this, and it's just such an amazing message. So I'm going to jump right in. Life is like a box of color crayons. And, you know, when you pick up a new box of color crayons, you can remember when you're a kid and you got a new box of color crayons, and it's so much fun. Color crayons are fun, and there's joy in them. There's some peace, there's some release, there's fun times in our color crayons, right? And when you actually get that brand new box of color crayons, you open it up and you see perfection. The box is perfect. You open it up and the color crayons are vibrant in color. They are perfect. There's not a mark on each one. They are all uniform. There is something about opening up a box of color crayons, and it brings joy, and it brings peace, and it brings a sense of, wow, this is going to be really fun. Then you start coloring. And the colors are vibrant, and the colors, you make masterpieces, you make fun things, you share your colors usually, you share your photos, you share what you color, you give it to grandma, grandpas, you give it to people who you love. And it brings you joy when you share those things with them. And then the color crayons start to wear, you know, because we use them, and when we use our color crayons, they start to get broken. And they start to tear. The paper may tear, and the colors, they never fade, but maybe they're not as sharp, and they're getting dull. And then you look at your box of color crayons after you've been coloring with them for a while, and you say, wow, they're not as bright and shiny as they used to be. And there's some brokenness in them, and they're not as good as they once were. And so we tend not to use them as much. Maybe we long to have another box of color crayons. Maybe we want the new bright and shiny. We want the brand new ones. But remember, those color crayons, they created a bunch of joy for you. There was peace, and there was joy, and there was love, and there was a creation that was made many times that shared and brought joy to other people. But now the color crayons are broken, and now you think that they're useless. And they don't get used as much. Okay, this is my life. Broken color crayons still color. Broken color crayons still have a story to tell. Broken color crayons may not be the bright and shiny and the brand new, but the broken color crayons still bring vibrance, and they still bring joy, and they will still color amazing colors. So I think about this in my life. You know, when I was created bright and shiny and new. I was created in God's image, and without a flaw, without a ding, without a tear, without a rip, everything was perfect. And then I had to live in this world. I had to live in this life, and I had to color. I had to make my life. And I was faced with struggles, and I was faced with things that came up against me and maybe dulled my color crayon, and maybe ripped the paper off of it, and maybe even broke the color crayon in half to where all I have is this much of a color crayon. And then I start to felt like maybe my colors weren't worthy. Maybe my colors I couldn't use my colors anymore because of the brokenness, because of what had happened on the color crayons. And sometimes we feel like that. We feel like this world gets us, and our color crayons aren't able to color anymore. Let me encourage you guys. Your color crayons, broken, ripped, half, whatever it is, your color crayons tell a story. And that's your story. And you write with, and you color with those color crayons. You open that box back up, and you see the beauty, and you see the brokenness in those color crayons, just like I see the brokenness in my life. And you start coloring. You start praising. You start thanking God for these colors. You start thanking God for the brokenness, for the rips, for the tears, for what life has handed you. Hello, Allison. Sometimes this is a hard lesson. Sometimes we don't want to look at our color crayons, because sometimes our color crayons show so much brokenness that we just want to throw them away. We want to start over. And you know, there is a message in that as well. Because when we surrender our life to Christ, and when we give him full authority, and when we confess with our mouth that he is Jesus, and God raised him from the dead, and he hung on the cross for each and every one of our sins, we are made new. We are made new, and that box of crayons is made new. But there is joy, and there is love in our brokenness. The other thing that this box of color crayons showed me, hey, Brute, get away from him. Sorry, guys. My dogs are being unruly. Another thing that this box of color crayons showed me We can't compare our color crayons to one another. You know, I remember sitting in the classroom and, you know, maybe my color crayons weren't as awesome as the girl next to me because I could only afford a box of 36, but she could actually afford a box of 84. Holy cow, right? So I compared my color crayons to her color crayons, and comparison and jealousy, those things are from Satan. Those things are not from God, because your color crayons are just as good as her color crayons, and my broken color crayons may be broken a little bit different than her color crayons, but that's okay, because my color crayons still color the same as hers. Don't compare your color crayons, because you are created with a vibrant color that God gave you. And he said, you know what, child, you are my daughter, you are my son, and I gave you a box of color crayons. And you color with those, because the picture you're going to color, you are still going to show and you're going to give to somebody, and they're going to see the beauty in it. They're going to see the love in it. They're going to see the joy and the peace in it. The other thing that this box of color crayons showed me is that sometimes the comparison of our pictures is different. My picture looks a lot different than somebody else's picture, but that doesn't make my picture any better than anybody else's. God tells us, you know, you be careful. You are pointing out the speck in someone else's eye when you've got the whole plank sticking right out of your own eye. So be careful with comparison. Everybody has a box of crayons and everybody has brokenness, but every single box that we have is useful. And you color with those colors. They still color. Satan wants you to color in black. Satan wants you to only see the negativity. He wants you to see the pictures that are not positive, that are negative. He wants to point out the black, not the positives, not the love in your life. He doesn't want So you know what? I want you to live. I want you to color with color. I want you to color with vibrant colors. I want you to pick out the red for love. I want you to pick out the pinks. I want you to pick out the yellows for the sunshine. I want you to pick out the blues and the greens that bring vibrant color to your life and start living and speaking truth over yourself. All right? I never had the big box either, Linda. But you know what? I'm thankful for my little box. I'm thankful for what God gave me. Be grateful in the things that God has you. What am I trying to say? Be grateful in where God has you right now, and be grateful for the colors that He is putting in your life. And you kick Satan out of your life, and don't let him tell you lies and let you color in black all the time. You color in the vibrant colors that God has given you, and your brokenness can still color. So get out and get your coloring book out and start living and start coloring. All right, you guys, love you so much. And have a blessed day today. Speak life and speak truth over somebody. And if this message can touch somebody, would you please share it? If maybe their brokenness, they're stuck in their brokenness, and they don't understand that their little colors can still color, would you share it with them? Okay? I love you guys so much, and be blessed. Bye.